All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories, and today we have Mr. Captive Desk, or AKA Dave, which is his actual name, on the show as a guest tonight. We set this up a couple weeks ago, I guess. Talked about it and set it all up, and here we are. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thanks for having me on.
Looks like we made it. I'm saying that every time.
All right, then. So we were talking before we went live here about you guys not having dispensaries down there and whatnot. So, of course, I visited the dispensary the other day and picked up some treats myself, and including these fucking 45% ones, which are fucking awesome. But anyway, we're doing the coins thing again, are we? All right.
Well, I can hear it. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what the coins thing is when you see the hashtag coins come up, because my phone makes the Mario Kart noise for the coins, and you're supposed to drink.
When we used to drink beer.
I did.
You're on water, and I'm on coffee.
Yeah, I know.
We lost our edge, man.
I'm on ginger ale. My belly was bothering me the other day, so I'm doing ginger ale.
We used to be golden.
So weak.
Used to be bronze statues, man, and now look at us. Play-Doh.
No, yeah, just getting old. Now I'm on all kinds of medication, and I make funny noises when I get up and all kinds of shit. So yeah,
my ankle.
Then you call the doc, and I'll hook you up with some pills. Okay, cool. And then they made it worse.
Yeah,
bothered my stomach, and it's like,
oh, that sucks.
You know what I ended up doing? I had a little stash of some gummies, and I got into one, and it calmed my stomach right down. I usually don't do gummies, but lo and behold, all hail Bigfoot. That gummy settled my stomach down, so that was all right. That was all right.
See?
So I know you. Sorry, Mikey, go ahead.
No, see, Squatch knows best. That's all.
Squatch knows best.
All things are possible through Bigfoot.
Okay, now I'm scratching my head here, thinking to myself, okay, what the hell is this Bigfoot thing, anyways?
Okay, well, Bigfoot goes back to, back in the days before all this fancy stuff, you just had the little chat rooms from, AOL and Yahoo and stuff, And when I ran into the pre-suppers, they would always, God did it, basically, the argument. So I started firing back with, no, Bigfoot did it, prove he didn't. Because, they're... And at first it was just a joke, but then it really started to irritate people. And I was a little more ornery in my youth, right? So I went with it and I just pushed it, No, Bigfoot did. Anytime they would throw any pre-sup argument at me, I would just turn it around and use Bigfoot.
Clearly, that's evidence of Bigfoot. You're talking about the Genesis? Yeah, the Genesis. That's how is it not Bigfoot is the question.
Yeah, so it was, at first it was just, just being ornery, just prove Bigfoot didn't do it. You know what I mean?
It's a good
But
question.
you know how things are when you mention something and people hear it and stuff, and then you start getting Bigfoot shirts and Bigfoot hats, and, so it kind of grew. And,
That's
awesome. Who doesn't love Bigfoot? I mean, Bigfoot's a great cryptid, right? He's not bothering anybody, and he's big and hairy and,
a little smelly.
Like a big teddy bear.
Fine.
Yeah, well,
fine. He's outside.
Yeah, got that wild musk going, I'm sure the lady Bigfoots, appreciate it. You know what I mean? So.
You got those big glands right there by his collarbones in a rut, and just pours out that great smell.
And in America, Bigfoots are popular, right? We've got them in all 50 states. They come by lots of different names, right? And even Jane Goodall, the chimpanzee lady, she said if any cryptid would be, she would want it to be a Bigfoot. So,
well, I'll say this: I don't really think that they are a real thing. If they are a real thing, then eventually someone's going to find something that's going to demonstrate that there's something real, because you can't go on forever and ever and ever and not find something that's going to prove that
dead one.
There's some kind of Bigfoot. Yeah, you'd find a dead one. Right. But I've heard all kinds of stories that they have burial rituals and all kinds of shit. Right. So
dude, what if they do? What if they're very high society? You know, they got.
So what if we dig one up by accident? Then, hey, this is a species we didn't know.
Don't get me started on all the reasons why you don't find Bigfoot bodies. They have it. They have it covered. They have it covered.
But maybe this is appealing to me, because I do love the bluntness and the honestness of the response. Prove to me Bigfoot didn't do it, because you insert Allah, insert Confucius, insert whatever other religion, but I'm gonna put my fantasy there, and it's the perfect rebuttal. It's like, you talk crazy, fine, I'm crazy too. Let's go to Crazy Town. Let's do this.
Now I have mellowed a little bit, okay. And when I have my other channels, the Grassman Chronicles, and
link below, by the way, guys.
Yeah, check it out. We do mostly cryptids and ghost stories and alien type stuff and everything, you know. And we try to keep an open mind.
Like Art Bell.
We're not calling anybody names or anything, you know. And I recently had Missing Maud on telling her story, and it's my most watched video. It's almost got 3,000 views.
Nice.
So the people are into cryptid stories. I've heard from people overseas and everything, you know. So, and you know, it's a good time, you know. So people want to come on and tell their story, you know, we'll listen, we'll talk about it, you know, and then we'll ask questions and, you know, let people decide for themselves.
Slightly off topic, but can you tell us about some other kinds of Bigfoots? Like what? Wait, so is there like Spanish Bigfoot? Is there like
there's
Norwegian Bigfoot? Like,
well, in Ohio, in Ohio, it's Grassman. That's why we have the Grassman Chronicles. I started it with Look at the Trees. Because of his work schedule and stuff, he hasn't been able to keep up with it. But we thought, well, Grassman, Ohio, and he's in Ohio, you know, we're both in Ohio, Grassman Chronicles, because there's already Bigfoot Chronicles, Sasquatch Chronicles. So we filled that niche there with the Grassman Chronicles. You also have skunk apes in the swamps. You have
Yetis.
You know, Yetis in the mountains and Tibet and stuff.
Are we saying that those guys are the same? Or the Yeti people might disagree. You know,
cousins,
like, hey,
maybe,
species from that Sasquatch fellow. The cryptids might fight.
Well, it's like bears around the world are different, but same same subgenre or whatever.
I'll let it
like a Kodiak and a black bear. They got the Sasquatch.
I'll let it slip for you. Next month, I'm doing Christmas in July, and I'm going to do the Yeti. So July is going to be, and we're going to do a giveaway for Christmas in July. So we'll give away a T-shirt and a mystery prize that's going to go with it. So we're going to have a little fun next month.
One of my favorite monsters in Monsters, Inc.
It's also known as the Abominable Snowman, but really there's not much on him. I mean, it's mostly like a couple sightings, and a few old stories. They're more of a mysterious cousin of the Bigfoot. And in Australia, you got the Yowie. Anywhere you go, we've got them in all 50 states. There's even a Hawaii Bigfoot. So.
Stitch.
Bigfoots are everywhere.
Shooting lasers, screaming Ohana. I know who that is.
Well, some think they are visitors here, and that's why we don't find bodies and stuff, because they're just visiting. And I joke that they have to stop and replenish their supply of Snickers bars and beef jerky. That's why they stop by Earth and take a little walk in the woods, enjoy nature, while they're here. So
it sure does smell weird here. Oh, human.
And that's one thing they all do seem to have in common is the very pungent odor.
Well, yeah, if you didn't shower, you'd be smelly too.
But I'm a Loch Ness monster at heart. Okay, my family's Scottish. My last name's Scottish. I did a show about Scotland things on my show because it was my birthday, so I thought I would do Scotland, right? And so Nessie's close to my heart, but you know, in this country, Bigfoot is popular. It's like the home team, right? Go Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, we're the North American Bigfoots.
I know, almost everybody's seen Harry and the Hendersons, right?
Yeah,
it's a classic. And when you look at those big eyes and everything, you know, how can you not love Bigfoot?
You just wanted to help. Oops! I put my whole hand through the wall.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's how it all got started, and it just grew. And then I've always been into stuff ever since I was a kid. Aliens, reading ancient aliens books and all that stuff.
Oh, good Lord.
I was into all that stuff. So, this kind of stuff fascinates me, and it's not just if it's real or not. It's, it's the whole psyche of people, and what did they really see, right? Especially like with UFOs or stuff like that. So, I'm not calling anybody a liar or anything like that. If you saw something, you saw something, but maybe it was something else.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't quite what you think.
Yeah,
because the human brain
possibly
works in funny ways sometimes. It can cause you to see things that really aren't there. As I've experienced that myself. So,
well, Neil, I don't know what it is, so obviously it's aliens.
Insert aliens.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but
I've been thinking about doing something about about the pyramids, because the aliens always. I was not supposed to put my hair out. There we go.
There we go.
All right. As long hair freaky people are here now.
That's right.
There's a lot of UFOs with the pyramids, and they needed lasers to build them and all this kind of stuff. So that might be an upcoming video.
I always found that sort of thing just like really you're going to sell our ancestors short,
right?
And say that they couldn't have possibly done this without the help of some fucking otherworldly beings. Like, come on, man, we're smart. They had the same brains we do now. They just didn't have the technology, but they figured it out.
That's why when I first discovered the creationists, that's one of the biggest things that bothered me about them was they were insulting so many scientists.
Yeah.
I was just like, how rude, you know what I mean? And I'm not a scientist, I'm just a regular guy. Right. But, it was just like, it's just rude. You know what I mean? It blew me away. They were talking about how dumb all the scientists were. And I always loved science too, ever since I was a kid. I was always a geek into all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
And I went to church.
What flavor?
Well, there you go. See, now let's get into this whole. So you were once. I'm assuming you were once a believer.
It's hard to define what I really believed.
You went.
Probably. I believe there was a God. I would say.
Okay.
So
you're like non-denominational kind of Christian, or
no? Well, we went to a Methodist church.
Okay.
It was progressive. It wasn't. What do you call it? It was modest, right? It's a beautiful church, stone, made out of stone, the gray stone. It's a beautiful church. I got married.
Yeah, some of the architecture is really cool for some.
Oh yeah, beautiful building. Sadly, the neighborhood's gone down. There's big fences all around everything now, but it's beautiful building, and modest. Like I tell people a lot of times I was naive, right? It was modest, like you'd think a church would be, right? They had stained glass, but it wasn't, expensive stuff with all the pictures or nothing, and
it wasn't like new stained glass.
Yeah, it was plain straight pews, and it was low key, right? But the people were nice, and it was okay. This is what church is, right? You hear the sermon, and we went to Sunday school and all the stuff, macaroni art. And all that stuff,
I require macaroni art.
Macaroni art. And I made, I'll never forget, I made a Christmas decoration that said Noel, Noel, and it was on 4 toilet paper rolls. And it was one of those things where everybody had to bring toilet paper rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we put the green and red felt around them and spelled Noel and then strung it together. And it hung on the door, right? It said Noel, right? My mother had that hanging on the door until it disintegrated. Every Christmas, that was on the door. I'll never forget. Guaranteed. Until it literally just disintegrated away.
Dry rotted away.
So I had no ill will. Church was something you did. I consider myself like a cultural Christian.
Okay.
When I was a kid, after I was born, my parents moved the other side of town, and you found a church, right? So they found this church. It was a quarter mile away or so. I wasn't very far away. And that's what you did. Where I grew up, a lot of places weren't open on Sundays or only a half a day because everybody went to church. So for me, it's what you did. Right?
Except for restaurants, because where are you going to go eat after church?
Well, yeah, that was
Golden Corral better not dare not work on the Sabbath.
A lot of those things you had to time right, yeah, because you get there and people would be standing outside waiting for them to open because they weren't back from church yet. Right. And we have a lot of churches in Ohio. There's no shortage. There's two right on the corner, and then down on the next corner there's 3 more. I can walk to 5 churches. So there's no shortage of churches. But I always, I was lucky, naive, whatever you want to call it. Maybe my parents just made good decisions and picked a good church, But it wasn't hellfire. It was always, everybody was welcome. I couldn't for the life of me ever them saying like, you can't come in here or something like that. You know what I mean? There was, none of that. It was what I thought church was. It's a day to be nice to everybody, right? Everybody says hi and hello, and you did the thing where everybody shakes hands with everybody. You turn around and hi, I'm Dave. Everybody shakes hands and nice social thing. Yeah, it was all good. So, but
your hands are very sweaty. Peace be with you. Oh.
As far as I didn't have no experiences or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. And my mother told me, you need a place to be married and buried in. All right, that was the saying. So you became a member of the church, because if you got sick, somebody would come see you at the hospital. If you died, they would come to do the, whatever. And if you got married, you could get married at the church. So I kind of had to promise my mother I would finish confirmation, which was basically through 8th grade, through grade school. Mm-hmm. And so I did, and went through all the thing. And I was baptized too, but it was when I was a baby. So I don't really remember. I guess it happened. There was a paper that said so. So I don't know if there's a picture. Right? If I had an outfit on or anything, I don't even remember.
Do Methodists do like the full body submersion, or do they do the sprinkling thing?
Sprinkle.
Yeah, see, that's reasonable.
Yeah, just a little sprinkle on the
save
floor.
water.
Yeah, just dunking the kids. I mean, we got water shortages left and right. You're just wasting it.
When there's some of them babies getting dunked, they look traumatized. And it's like, again,
that Russian Orthodox was just like freaking slam dunking the little guy. I was like, oh God.
It was low key stuff. We did. You pass the loaf of bread around, and then they pass the grape juice, and you dunk your bread in the grape juice, and that's how you did the communion thing. And then we would do the palms when it was Palm Sunday. Everybody would get palms and stuff like that. And then, so I went through confirmation, and in confirmation, you went through Bible study, and you learned about the church. And we took a trip to Columbus, which was the headquarters of the church, to learn about the church. You learn all about the church because you're joining the church. And we also went to some other churches. We went to a synagogue, kind of give you a little education and everything. Yeah,
they do the bread and the grape juice thing there too, by the way.
Yeah, there's a real nice synagogue that was close to our house too. So I was aware. I was thinking earlier. I was like, I don't remember anybody. My only thing was there's Christians and then there's some Jewish people.
Right.
You know, that was about it when I was a kid, because you knew some kids didn't celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then things would, why don't they? Oh, well, they're Jewish. And then you learn, right?
You just kind of give them like that. All right, I'll just take your word because I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So, but that was in my mind. Yeah, you went to church or you went to synagogue. You know, that's what you did. So everybody was doing one or the other. It was all good. And again, no hellfire. My parents weren't like that. My grandparents weren't like that. The only thing I ever heard my one grandmother would tell me, if you cuss, you're going to get the lightning bolt come down and get you, right? So, but it was never, you know, I didn't get it, you know. And at the same time, my parents were real cool about stuff. I'd ask for a science kit, I'd get a science kit. Microscope, telescope, electronics kits, you know, the Radio Shack kits.
Build your own
models.
Radio.
Yeah, I built the Skeleton and the Invisible Man and, you know, all that series, you know, all those models. Anything like that, they were open to. I'd get Discover Magazine, National Geographic, Science, Astronomy Magazine, another one on gems and mineralogy and stuff like that. I'd get all kind of science, anything I wanted. They were always supportive. So I had a big exposure. Yeah. And then I guess I had enough exposure that I just didn't see the priority in the religion, right? It was something we did on Sunday, and the rest of the week I did other things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I also got into some magic. I loved doing magic when I was a kid. I had a couple bucks burned in my pocket. We had a magic shop that was a bicycle ride away, right?
Oh, man.
And that was the greatest thing to get you by the trick. And then he would take you in the back room and teach you how to do it, right? And that was just the coolest thing, right? So all these things culminating, and then, like I say, reading about aliens. Pyramid power was all big back in the 70s.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of the UFO stories were all going off everywhere. And so all this stuff was around, right? So I was, again, I was kind of geeky. So anything, it's like, oh, there's a monster, there's a ghost, whatever, I'm checking it out. So I kind of started blending everything, and then just realizing that people believe in a lot of things.
Yep.
And I tell people that was like my epiphany, my profound moment, and people go, that's kind of lame, right? And it's like, no, think about it. It makes a lot of sense. People believe in a lot of things, and that's why I try not. And it really bothers me when theists make fun of people that believe in Bigfoot or anything else, right? Because it's like, now hold on, right?
Glass houses, man.
Yeah. You should be the first one open to the possibility that these supernatural things are running around, right? So, I'm more open-minded than the person, because I'm not laughing at these people. I'm just trying to explore what their experiences are. And same with religions. People have experiences with religions. I don't doubt they have an experience. But like with the thing with raising your hands, and if you hold your hands up long enough, you get some kind of endorphins running in you, and you'll catch a little buzz if you holding your hands up.
Yep.
Drain all the blood out of your fingertips.
It actually does. I read an article about it. It has some kind of chemical thing. You're actually like getting a little buzz from just holding your arms up long enough. So, do I doubt they're feeling it? Well, no. If somebody can write a paper on it and say, oh yeah, it's triggering whatever endorphins or whatever you got in your body. Right?
Yeah, whatever brain chemistry is involved, but it's not supernatural.
Don't let the dispensaries hear about this.
Well, and I know people like Jimmy Tux. I think you know who Jimmy Tux is.
Yep.
And Mike over at Answers in Atheism. These are non-believers, and they've had profound experiences.
Sure.
So
we've all had one or two.
Yeah, I'm not discounting their they said they had it. I go, well, okay, you did. What am I going to say? But
Can't prove you didn't.
they also try to examine it a little bit more than just.
That's what you got to do, is examine why it happened and the phenomena behind it as to why these things happen. And then you'll find the real answers if you are able to uncover that. So you don't have to make up some wooey stuff to. And
I got a Bible presented to me. I still have it from my church. It's got my name in it and everything. Read the Bible studies, all that stuff, and then after confirmation, it was kind of left up to me if I went back, and I just didn't want to go back because, for one thing, I was going into high school, right? And it was a whole new world. There was lots of ladies. There was lots of things to do, right?
I'll be busy, Mom.
I'm going to be busy, right? And we were on the go. I mean, we were, in the generation, we were gone. Parents didn't know where we were. We were gone. Gone.
Outside is where I am.
Latchkey kids, man. Latchkey kids.
They didn't want to know how far we went or anything else. We roamed, right? So, and then, but I was a member of the church, because I got confirmed. So my name gets put in the big book, right?
Right.
So when I decided to get married,
with an asterisk beside it.
when I decided to get married to my gorgeous wife that I've been married to for over 30 years.
Wow. Good for you, dude. It's rare these days, man.
We went to the church and we got first dibs on when we wanted to have the wedding. And we had a female minister. She was great. Even when my wife was cussing a little bit when she was trying to get ready in the church basement, she was understanding and everything. She was really cool. It was very hot, though. And this church didn't have no HVAC system.
Oh, boy.
So we all too happy to dive into the limo waiting for us after the ceremony to cool off. But I had a beautiful wedding. Yeah, I had a big, beautiful wedding. We had 7 people, I think, on each side. We had 250 guests or something. We packed the church. And
shit.
We were one of the first few to be getting married, you know what I mean? So it was like a big deal. All my friends turned out, all my friends' brothers turned out, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, Dave's getting married, you know what I mean? Because you grow up with some of these people and they kind of look at you like a nephew or something, you know what I mean? It's like, little Dave Murray's getting married.
Neighborhood family is what we
right, yeah. So there was all kinds of people, yeah. So it was we had a great wedding, and so it did pay off that I had a church to get married in, and I hold no ill will to anybody. I just kind of grew out of it, and like I say, I just realized. And then others started learning there are other religions other than just Christianity and Judaism, right? And then actually learning, well, there's really not that many Jewish people, right? I thought it was like a big religion,
The other half.
Yeah, and it's not. No, it's not. It's all these other ones, right? Yeah, and then of course science, right? Started getting into some discussions with some people that were religious and some hints of maybe some creationism stuff or whatever. I started, now wait a minute, that's not what all the science books, and this is when I'm a kid, it's like, that's not what all the science books say. And you can still use the same argument today with them, right? It's like Hovind and Ken Ham and all the rest of them. It's like,
oh God.
Okay, well, you say that, but all the other scientists say something else, right? All of them, right? All of them. Yeah. That's a chin scratcher, why is that, right? So
clearly it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, so that was one of the things. And then I also loved Aesop's Fables, right?
Me too.
Yeah. So reading Aesop's Fables, I equated it a lot to the Bible.
Yep.
This isn't real. The fox doesn't talk, right? It's you're supposed to get meanings and everything and stuff. And as I've gotten older and stuff, I've more realized that when people do make the arguments that it's personal, it's spiritual, and all that, I can accept that more when it's what it means to you, right?
Yeah.
Not what it means to you, and I'm going to tell you what it means to you. That's wrong in my view of it, right?
Yes.
And yeah, you're supposed to take what you get from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, and all these things intertwined, it became more of Aesop's fables. So now, as far as God goes, it was probably in my head for a while, but surely, by the time I was, by 20 or something years old or something like that, I just no more belief in God. It's science, or it's unknown, because I don't have a problem with putting in the unknown category.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with being intellectually honest. We don't know. We don't know. Will we find out? Maybe. Depends on how things go, I suppose.
And as far as the atheist thing, I never really called myself an atheist because I didn't know what one was. Seriously, I didn't hear the word. I often say Carl Sagan and people on TV that were atheists. He was the cool guy on Johnny Carson that talked about the space stuff and everything, right?
Yeah.
The atheist stuff, I had no clue. I wanted to hear about the space stuff. Even if something atheist was talked about, I didn't hear it, right? I wanted to hear about the space stuff. This is Carl Sagan, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the original show Cosmos that he did too was phenomenal as well.
And Johnny Carson loved having him on, and he did the famous impersonation of him and everything too.
That's where the billions and billions came from.
That's right.
That's right. Carl never actually said that himself until he imitated Johnny imitating him.
So he was a favorite, and Johnny was picky. He didn't like everybody. So if he liked Carl Sagan, he must have been all right. So yeah, that was so I didn't really know what that was, until I got older. And then along came, this was the big nail in the coffin. Along came cable TV. Okay. For some of you people out there that don't remember, there was a time we had like 3 channels.
Yeah,
if the weather was good. Okay.
Yeah.
If you had a storm or something, you
only had rabbit ears around there.
Always rain.
My dad put up a tower antenna, but it only picked up like a couple more channels, and you still had to turn it all the time to get a good fix. And anyway, so along comes cable TV. And in the early days, there was a lot of these part-time channels, right? And the local Christian radio broadcast company bought one of these part-time slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was Ken Ham. It was a long time ago. And that was just, like I said, I don't like to cuss, but this isn't my channel. So I was pissed off, okay? I was literally pissed off at what he was saying.
You can curse.
We just haven't.
We just haven't yet.
I try to keep it clean on my channel, so there's some razzing going on here and there. It's kind of an inside joke. Right? I do it out of respect.
Yeah, you can do it here.
I do it out of respect for believers, because I was told that if you have a foul mouth, they're not going to listen to you. Now, I've also been on some channels with some Christian YouTubers that have some really foul mouths. So
yes.
I would like to point out that I make the effort on my channel. Okay, if you watch any of the stuff on my channel, I try to keep it clean and polite and civil. Okay?
And I would also like to point out that Dave is putting forth that effort for our channel as well. He's doing both of that effort over there so that we don't have to. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Fucking Christian. No, I'm just kidding.
But Ken Ham, like Joe over at the Kentucky Atheist likes to say, fuck Ken Ham. All right. That guy, beyond all the other garbage he pushes all this anti-LGBTQ stuff too. He just hired that new goon from Australia and handed him a huge budget to target kids. And the way they talk about science, again, like I told you, I was insulted. I'm not a scientist I'm listening to this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? Right? People really think this. You know what I mean? I never really ran into anybody that took the Bible, like literally
verbatim.
Yeah, right. The only experience we had, again, we didn't have internet or nothing, was the guys that would get the flatbed trucks and park in the supermarket parking lots, with a megaphone and, Jesus, they have their little sermons on Saturday nights or whatever. And, we'd be at the arcade and everything, and they'd be in the parking lot. So that was our only really interaction with that kind of stuff. But it was, again, they were just preaching, right? Do this and repent and, that kind of line. None of this, how many animals were on Noah's Ark, right? So hearing this stuff, it just blew my mind, right? I'm like, they can't be serious. Right? Is this comedy or something? And then, learning about creation is
down here.
Wow.
Do they even have a total number in the Bible about how many animals are on there? Is that even in the Bible?
No, like groups like Ken Ham has it like I think it's 1,700 animals he puts on the ark.
And then all of those kinds make other kinds. And kinds,
kinds
is a word that I use for anything that I don't understand.
So he's close by. I kind of like, right, there was like so much stupid to go around. I had to just pick one, okay? So,
dude, there's like over 200 and something thousand different species of beetles alone.
No, I mean the creationists.
Beetle, one of the beetle kind, Neil. The beetle kind.
So I kind of, Ken Ham kind of became my nemesis because he's close by, right? Ray Comfort's on the West Coast, and Hovind's down south, and Carl Baugh's in Texas, and so Ken Ham, he's my first exposure, so he's always been my thing. I got blocked on all his stuff. I didn't like any of my questions anyway.
Bravo.
Right?
Come on.
He pre-blocked me to some of his new pages. He started some of his new pages, and I was like, I can get back on again. He had me pre-blocked. I couldn't even get on his new pages.
They copied and pasted you from a spreadsheet.
Him and Ray Comfort, Frank Turek, Greg Locke. They blocked me maybe before some of your viewers were old enough to be viewers. And I just asked questions because I knew if I just said, oh, you stupid, or called him names, and especially Ray Comfort, anything, if you cuss, he's just going to block you, right? That's his excuse to block you.
Well,
so I always stayed inside the rules.
You could have got one in then if you knew he was going to block you anyway.
Yeah. Ray Comfort came on my Facebook page and he saw some Buddhist thing I had posted, and he said, meditate on this, and he blocked me. That's Ray Comfort. Now, back in the day, anyways,
even though he's a dastardly little guy, that's pretty funny.
I had Nathaniel Jeanson came on my page too, because I was ragging on his page. He's one of Ken Ham's favorite sons, and he showed up on my page too, and he called me a bunch of stuff and everything, and then he blocked me. And then he went back on his page and he posted a big little rant about me, calling me a liar and all this stuff and everything. And it's like, dude, I can't see it because you blocked me, right? Who are you writing it to, right? But somebody else took a screenshot and sent it to me, so I saw what it was. But it's like, I don't think they realize, or they don't care, whatever. Yeah, they block you, and then they respond to you. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's cowards. That's what it is.
Yeah, so I've had them all.
What it is.
Yeah, that was my early days of Facebook, was all these clowns coming on my page and saying something and then blocking me. This is Greg Locke before he was big, when he was still just he had like 2 videos up or something. He showed up on my page one day. And then, of course, they walk in the lion's den too, because most people on my page are not believers either. So, and so they get leapt upon, But,
and then they complain about being leapt upon.
Yeah, and then I'm getting this exposure to all these, assholes, right? And it's just like, and then I started hearing about abuse cases.
Yeah.
Now, I like to say I'm old school, right? You respect the priest or the nun or the monk these people that, take these vows and celibacy and give up all their possessions, and they're going to, even if you don't agree, you kind of got to give them the nod, right? That takes some dedication, right? And okay, these, the priest and everybody, they're the cool guys, or whatever, right? So again, I'm naive. Turns out I talked with a friend of mine. He said, no, when we went to school, it was well known you didn't want to get alone with the priest. I'm like, that was well known? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I really started to not like religions, and I became more anti-theism.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, and I'll make the t-shirt soon, tax the church. If you're supposed to be providing all these services for the community, and that's why you're tax exempt, and you don't do all of that, and what you are in fact doing is just hiding predators and then shuffling them around so no one can find them, so that we can prosecute them because they're breaking the law, then no, you don't get a tax exempt status for your mafia, because that's all you up on RICO charges is what needs to happen. That's a criminal organization if you're shuffling criminals around and hiding them from the government.
Well, and people will fire back. Well, these little churches and these little communities won't be able to pay their electric bill. It's like, that's who those laws were designed for. Not for these big, huge churches. They were designed for those little churches so they could just scrape together some change and keep the lights on, right?
Right.
And that's fine, It's making millions and billions in profits.
Joel
and then again,
Houston Rockets.
Yeah, Joel
arena.
Does he drive a Lamborghini? He drives like a Lamborghini or something. I mean, he doesn't even try to not be flashy, And it's like,
with the jets and the mansions and
and it's like, wait a minute, what Jesus say about the rich man's chances of getting into heaven?
He was flipping fucking tables, is what he was doing.
Yeah, it's like so again, over and over again. Yeah, so that again, we didn't have the exposure, again. So we didn't have 24/7 news, all that, so it was limited, I mean, most of my TV time, my dad was watching golf or baseball or Lawrence Welk or Little House on the Prairie. And, we watched TV in between because you only had one TV, right? And it's not like nowadays where we got TVs in every room, right? One TV, and if Dad's home, Dad's watching.
TV's right here.
Watch, Right. Yeah. So we watched what Dad was watching. So if you wanted to watch TV, we were watching Little House on the Prairie, right? So, but it was cool too, because when we got cable, my dad
$6 million man.
My dad would also be kind of cool when we got cable and we had that Showtime box.
The little
late
black
night,
box.
and the late night stuff came on. And my dad would be sitting there watching one of the movies with the dun, 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 dun. And it's like, hey, Dad, what you watching? And he's like, oh, well, you can sit down and watch if you want or whatever. And it's like, dun, 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 dun. The Emmanuel. That was the one. The Emmanuel. So remember, she was like Debbie. She went everywhere.
Yeah,
and,
those are the big classics. The Emmanuel, Debbie Does Dallas, and the other one was Behind the Green Door.
That
with what the hell was her name?
That stuff was so soft.
Well,
you see more in soap operas now than you saw in those Manuel movies.
Man, I watched The Boys last night. Holy shit!
I know.
On Amazon.
Yeah, so cable, and then cable news and everything come in, and again, that's when you hear more about all this stuff. And of course, once the internet kicked in,
Yep.
I didn't have all the greats with Hitchens and everything and stuff. They were great to listen to and everything, but I was all well past them. You know what I mean? I'd already heard all the arguments and stuff. I'm old, so
right.
Yeah, so by the time the internet came around, I was itching, ready to argue with the theists. So AOL, AOL dial up. Sometimes you had to log back on 5 times and then find the chat again, and Oh, it was so frustrating.
The phone would ring and then somebody would pick it up like, don't answer the phone. Oh!
Yeah, you idiot. Why'd you answer the phone?
Because it was ringing. That doesn't mean you answer it.
I had some of my buddies, they'd show up knocking on the door. It's like, dude, I've been trying to call you for 4 hours. It's like, I'm downloading a song.
Yeah.
One song.
The
One
picture's
song.
halfway downloaded. Hold on.
I was more into the music thing. Yeah, it would take hours just to download a song.
And to see the size of a song now, it is the smallest thing.
Yeah.
It is like an email. And it's crazy. An email with 1 picture is about the same amount of data as a 6-minute song. And that's crazy.
And of course, yeah. So again, the internet. Now I'm a geek, right? The internet's the greatest thing ever, right? It's like, wow, I can look up all this stuff whenever I want, and it's even better now with your your little devices. I'm not going to say her name or she's going to go off, but you can just ask questions into the room, and this little box answers you. You're in the middle of a recipe, and you're like, is it 3 eggs or 4 eggs? That'd be 4 eggs. Thank you very much. It's so amazing, all the knowledge and everything you have available. And I don't know, I might have been on overload when I was a teenager because, I couldn't get enough of our ancestors came from outer space type books, right? So
there's a lot to find.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. So, but
what was your downloading music app of choice? And what was like your hardest to find band? Because I don't know, because they had like your LimeWire, your BearShare, your Napster. And then people put up all the fake stuff. So, like, what was your trials through that?
I think it was LimeWire.
Yep,
was the one. And I remember just to download a couple songs. We used to do it at night, so like nobody'd be calling or whatever.
Right.
And overnight you'd maybe get 2 or 3 songs downloaded if you manage to keep it going. Because again, if your computer stopped or anything, right, too. So,
or the person who was sending it to you, if their computer stopped for any reason, then you're just stuck there anyway.
And as far as the problems in there, it seemed like the popular songs were always the difficult stuff. Like so many would have it as a source that you would be picking up. I don't know, like a bad transfer or something, and the songs would have, bad spots in them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the problem, is when something was popular and you had too many people that had it out there. Whereas if just a few people had it, you could, it was more of a direct data transfer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And it's just completely overloaded. And we would get like the fakes where it'd be like, oh, sweet, let me check out this new Blink-182 song. This ain't no damn Blink-182. And then in all the metadata, it's some local band. It's like, yo, check us out on MySpace. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, there was some stuff. Yeah, you'd get the ones that didn't go through right either, and it would just be like nonsense, like it was all scrambled or something. It just, and it's like, what the hell happened to this song, right?
You're getting experimental.
But I tend to blame, like always, you always got some idiots out there gotta ruin it for everybody. So. But that was amazing, though. It was amazing. You could download songs, and then now we're to the point where we all got rid of our CD collections or put them in boxes or something, because you stream everything right to the stereo. And
yep. Don't even have cords anymore. Like, who has a home stereo system anymore?
I do.
Yeah, me and you. That's it. We're the last two. Everyone else
still rocking. I've had it for like 20 years now or more. Let's see. Now it's got to be like 30 years old, man. This JVC I got it's man. I don't know it anything. It's still going. I've rebuilt my speakers like 3 or 4 times. But,
I knew you were cool.
I knew you were a
basshead.
I've got the good old big old wooden cabinets. My wife hates them.
they're great, and you can put stuff on them.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I got to use those little rubber shelf mats, otherwise the stuff slides off.
Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this! Yeah, no.
Do you even know where you're at?
Yeah, sorry.
Dude, Neil's Canadian. He's not voting for Trump.
Yeah,
Okay?
Don't give a shit about Trump anyways.
Half the audience is not even in this country.
He straight up told people, I don't care about you. I just want your vote.
Don't care if you die.
I saw the speech. Okay. I was watching the speech when he said it. And
people walked out. I was like,
oh, yeah.
He's an idiot. Yeah. He's a fucking idiot. And how he ever got fucking elected to begin with is beyond me.
Y'all put his old ass in the hot sun. Of course he said something stupid. And that was pretty stupid.
He is.
I'm telling you, when he got elected, all of a sudden, every fucking dickhole in the U.S. was able to be a dickhole again and fucking act like a racist, fucking homophobic piece of shit. Bigoted piece of shit. And
that's why
white supremacy and fucking fuck.
I told my wife earlier, I was like, there's no honor anymore. Even the clowns, like what was the guy that used to be in the Klan that was in Congress till he was in his 90s or whatever?
Not sure.
David Duke?
Was that? No. That Biden went to his funeral and took a bunch of flack for it. Anyway, though, but this guy was in the Klan at one time, right? Obviously, a piece of garbage.
Robert Byrd.
Byrd, that's the one. Thank you very much. And but he would fake it, right? They would still fake it like America, right?
As a statesman.
And we're going to work together. We don't agree. I have my side, they have their side, but we're going to sit down. We're going to do something for America, right? Now you got the Republicans out there saying America sucks. I mean, all those old Republicans are literally spinning in their graves, right? It's like, where is the honor? You don't badmouth the home team, right? Even if you disagree, you would say, "Hey, I don't."
No, you sling mud at each other during the election time and stuff like that. That's normal.
But like that famous clip goes around with John McCain, where the woman in the audience says, "I don't like that Obama because he's an Arab," and he's like, "No, ma'am." He's like, he took the microphone away. He says, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He's a good American. He's a family man, good father and husband, and we just have different views on how direction for the country."
And I'm not going to let you talk like that.
That's an honorable man, right? Yeah, it's like, no, you got disagreements, bring out the disagreements, not this. Who's on your kid's laptop? You know what I mean? Who cares what's on his freaking laptop, right? He's not the president, right?
No one cares.
Remember Jimmy Carter? He had a brother that was named Billy.
Billy Carter with the peanut
kind
farm.
of an embarrassment. He got caught like whizzing on the White House lawn or something back in the day.
You
know what I mean? But nobody. But hey, they had Billy beer out for a while. I have a couple of cans in my collection. Yeah. They had
Billy,
but it wasn't. It wasn't.
My dad
on
has
Jimmy.
a Trump chocolate bar from the first round.
It wasn't on Jimmy though that his brother, had a few issues, right?
Yeah.
No.
And so, I mean, I don't really care what Hunter Biden's issues are, and I think
everyone's got one of them in the family anyway.
I think most of them are just jealous because he's hung like a horse. Honestly, I showing those pictures when they had to put the big old black mark on there, and I'm like, holy crap!
I was screaming that, and I was like, I think I gotta take this off the screen. Yeah, I think I gotta take this off the screen. Like, I know it's
Marjorie,
a tripod.
Marjorie takes him into Congress, and she's got them on poster boards.
I was about to say, how long did you have those, Marjorie, before you came in today? Like, did you print those this morning, or like, how long have you had those? Because they're a little worn on the edges, and I just have a couple of questions.
And then now with all this stuff going on, my anti-theism is more than ever because all the stuff they're trying to push in the laws and the You know, you see the dumb thing going on in Louisiana and everything.
Oh, with the
right?
fucking Ten Commandments, yeah.
And women's
rainbow
health
pride
issues.
flags are indoctrination, but throwing the Ten Commandments is not indoctrination.
All I can say is I think they're pushing it too far, because a lot of the latest polls show that women are breaking over to the left.
Yep.
Because not just the abortion, but the birth control, the IVF, and you've got these guys. That senator was just out the other day saying women shouldn't vote.
I mean,
They wanted to go back to 1920.
I mean, if my wife wants to take my vote in for me, I guess that's okay. But no, I don't know what they're thinking. There's more women than men in this country. They can outnumber us.
So
Attack us in numbers.
I think they just pushed it all way too much, and they're going to lose their own. And they might not vote for Biden, but they might not, fill out the complete ballot. You know what I mean? Especially that one on top. They might just skip over that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see.
What if nobody voted for either one of them?
We got shithead conservatives here in Canada, too.
None of the above. Richard Pryor.
If enough people vote none of the above, I vote we restart the election.
Well, there's always a certain amount of people write in Mickey Mouse and stuff like that.
I used to put me. Vote for me.
Why not?
One year I got 2 votes. I was like, how'd the hell that happen? I didn't vote twice. So how'd that happen?
No, yes, you did. How did you get 2 votes? Aha! Voter fraud.
I think I told somebody about it, and they went and voted for me too. So I got 2 votes in an election in my riding. Well, it's not my riding, so I'm not a politician.
Neil,
hey, Reds, what's going on?
Neil comes up and says, "Hey, vote for me." And I say, "Okay, write me on the paper." And I write me on the paper, and I just walk away.
That right there is a smart fucking vote. I vote Bill Nye.
But Bill Nye doesn't want to do it.
I know. Neither does Tyson or Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There's your ticket. Tyson.
I take either one of those guys.
Tyson Nye 24. Hey, somebody slap that shit on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Do not.
That scares off 42% of our population that thinks man lived with dinosaurs.
Do not do this. I will take your wrench. You guys better not vote for me. Do not joke like that.
And this thing with Louisiana, how much money are they wasting on this? And then they're going to waste with the courts and everything else, right? While their education system is like 47th in the country. They want to put 10 Commandments posters up on the walls that the kids can't read. And then I heard somebody in a comment section say, but they let trans people read to them. I'm like, really? The trans people in Louisiana can read? How about you get them into the schools and teach these kids how to read? Because you're an embarrassment at 47th in the country, right? No, let's not buy books or better teachers or pencils or... No, they're going to spend millions of dollars on posters to put in schools that they're going to have to take back down. And, again, how much does it cost to litigate and all that stuff? That's all tax dollars, right?
So I have always wondered why we have to pay, like why it's not like the cost incurred for like all these trials and all that stuff. Weren't y'all at work anyway? So how is this costing more money? Aren't you a federal employee on a salary anyway? So how does this cost more money? It's going to cost us $100,000, prosecute. No, motherfucker. We already paid you last Friday. What the hell are you talking about? We got you till next Friday. Like, it's a week-by-week contract for every single person in this room except for one guy, and he's got orange skin and a full diaper.
I support pay as you go. I think that if you put it to the voters first, things would be a lot different. Like, you want to go bomb Iraq? Yeah, let's go bomb Iraq. Here's the bill. Hold on.
Never mind. We should use our words.
Right? Hold on. How much is it going to cost each and every one of us?
Every bomb? God,
yeah.
I don't know.
And everything else too. I think, if you want a bridge, tell the people, hey, you want a bridge? This is how much it costs, and vote on it. There you go. You want the bridge or not? You don't want the bridge? Well, it's your own damn fault. Thing falls down, right?
Well, I'm selling hang gliders for everybody who doesn't want to vote for the bridge.
I just covered the Mothman with Joe from Kentucky Atheist, and that was a big deal around the circulated with the bridge collapse over the Ohio River, right?
Yeah, and that was crazy.
That bridge collapse. That before then, there were no inspections on bridges. This is 1966, up to 1966.
Year I was born.
Yeah, me too. No bridges were inspected.
Me too.
So yeah, there was nothing in place to inspect bridges. It just kind of boggles your mind. Yeah, they could just build them, whatever, and people were walking and driving over them with
taking trucks.
No idea if it could hold you or not.
You know, it'd be funny.
It's amazing.
If Jeff Bridges never became an actor and became a bridge inspector, he could be Inspector Bridges. I'm just going to stop now.
It's like, but what's your occupation, sir?
I'm a bridge inspector.
I'm inspector of bridges.
Anyway, we've gone past the hour, guys, and I think a lot of the stuff we can chat about in the after party too, and have some fun in the after party. So, but anyway, Dave, man, thank you so much for coming and hanging with Mike.
Well, I'll say one thing that no matter where your journey is, just check things out for yourself. You know what I mean? Get outside of whatever bubble you're in, just for at least for a little while, because like I said, me growing up, I was like kind of in a bubble. I was in a lucky bubble, but you might be in an unlucky bubble. Get out of the bubble, and just check things out for yourself. And you might, discover that we're not all that different, and people believe in a lot of things.
Yeah, they do.
Well said.
All hail Bigfoot.
All hail Bigfoot. It's my next song.
Thanks for jumping in here with me and Mikey, and also thanks to the chat out there for hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. If you yes, there it is. All right, so thanks everybody. Also thanks to our patrons and our members, and that's how you can help out the show if you ever decide you'd like to do so. If you like what we do, there are ways to do so, and they're all linked in the description box below. Also, Captive Death's links are in the description box below, both his YouTube channels, and you can stalk him on Twitter as well if you want to. And and that's pretty much it, I guess. We are doing the after party. If you want to be involved in the after party, just let this guy over here know, right there on the Twitter there. Or if you're not on Twitter, you can probably find one of us on either Facebook, or you can send an email or whatever, and we'll get you in there.
Smoke signal.
Smoke signals, notes tied to legs of birds.
I was about to say a raven or an owl.
Raven or an owl, yeah. Or a homing pigeon. All right.
Wait, if there's
by the way, that reminds me. I just sold my homing pigeon collection for the 22nd time on eBay.
Hey-oh.
Charlatan.
LOL. Mexican American.
How dare you trick me with the pigeons?
I'm not sure why that word's so funny, but it's okay. Anyway, Reds is going to join us for the after party. I will send you a link via Twitter, Red. So be prepared. We do take a break, guys, between the two shows. So, you can do it. So we will be going sometime around 6:30 for the after party. Let us know if you want to be involved. Until then, guys, like I always say at the end of the interview part of the show, like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. I scared the cat.
Mean man.